was just like any 14-year-old in the 7th grade. Brian loved life, loved the outdoors, and he loved sports. One day during a game of ice hockey, Brian noticed that he could not see the puck coming his way until it almost passed him. He took note of this moment. The loss of sight continued. One day he sat down in class and couldn't see the board that the teacher was writing on. This was a great concern because by now he had moved up to the front row. His parents took him to their doctor and their first fears were realized. Brian's optic nerves were disintegrating at a rapid pace. By the end of that school year, Brian was completely blind. After some time of adjustment, Brian went back to graduate from high school and Pepperdine University. He later joined World Access for the Blind. Brian recently came to Calcutta, India, and this is his story.
Yeah, what we're doing here is we're doing a comparison to what a building sounds like across from an open space to what a building sounds close up. On the other side of the fence, there's that building relatively close, and then we have the open space out this way. And this skill is to help develop the idea that you can hear an echo reflecting off a building from across a big field. And so we're trying to get the kids to start becoming aware and to start articulating the process of what they're probably already experiencing, but not being aware of it yet. And so the fun part about just putting people and children, whoever it is, in new circumstances that challenges them to have a new experience and to help them understand in a true context to what they're experiencing. Up on the roof, it was really good because we spent most of our time, a lot of it in sort of lecture. And so up on the roof, trying to get the students to understand and having them connect that they are actually hearing, this is a tall object, this is what an object sounds like in front of you, and then this is what an object, sound like a low wall or the absence of an object. It was really helpful to have that moment to really have an understanding, okay, these kids were getting it. It was clicking in their minds that they were, in fact, imaging their environment. And then coming over, and that was at a place that was comfortable for them. So it was sort of controlled and it was comfortable. But then the next day at the end, coming over to the cemetery, number one, taking them into unfamiliar areas, which really is the end goal, is to be able to teach a visually impaired person how to travel in unfamiliar areas unassisted, on their own. To have that blind person in an unfamiliar area feel like they can travel safely, feel that they have the confidence and the competence to be able to manage anything that comes their way. And coming over into the cemetery was just the beginning of that whole process, and it was really fun seeing all of the students, clicking, and they're able to articulate, okay, this is a solid object, it's tall, it's wide, this is a tree, and just to start exposing it because it really brings a richness and a vividness to the world, and it really is something, and it's really a privilege and really meaningful to participate with someone in that moment where you experience their world opening up in new ways. Because if a blind person can learn to see with sound, what else are we all capable of doing as people, sighted or non-sighted? There's so much more room to explore, so many more areas in life to sort of look and to learn, to recognize, and to see around the next corner.
He is tall.
He is tall.
Hard.
Hard. Is it wide?
Wide.
Wider than you. Go check it out. Feel. Go feel. Go feel. Yeah.
Life is all just continual growth stages. Every stage in life is challenging us to grow in a new way. And we sort of have to learn to ask ourselves as people, okay, what is God asking me to learn in this moment? And when we ask ourselves that, we start viewing life in a more thankful, different way, which then when we have a perspective of gratitude, it opens our minds to start seeing new possibilities. You know, keep saying yes and keep going until life throws us a no, and then evaluate that no to see if it's really a true no or it's just one of our own fears, but to keep going.